game. Wakefield 12, Hull 6 here at Bellevue. Half-time, we're about to start the second half. During half-time, by the way, Wakefield have paraded no less than 10 outstanding young rugby league talents that they have signed. They've established a sport-wide reputation for developing a conveyor belt of top young talent who later become established in the Super League. The likes of Gareth Ellis, Ben Westwood, Keith Mason, Ryan Atkins, Danny Brough. Do I need to say more? And all these signings by John Keir and his backroom staff seen as potential Super League and Test match stars of the future. They're working hard at Wakefield for the future, and they'll have to work hard in this second half to hang on to this victory that they have at the moment. Korkidas will drive the ball forward on the first tackle of this second half.
Not often I agree with you, Eddie, but what you said at half-time is that this game is open to anybody that wants to take it by the scruff of the neck, take control of it. Somebody out there can do that. You've got to look at the Wakefield side and say, well, Paul Cook has that ability. And I must say Sean Berrigan has that skill factor as well on the black and white side.
And Richard Horne's there as well for Hull FC, so plenty of talent. He is a talented individual as well, Glenn Morrison. One of 3 former Bradford Bulls recruited for 2010. The ball goes up off the boot of another of them. That was Ben Jeffries into the arms of Jordan Tansey.
Interesting, just before the kick-off there, you know, Jordan Tansey placed the ball down, had a little word to the official, Steve Ganson, who then displayed how to play the ball. Rather interesting, isn't it?
Well, this play the ball debate will run and run.
I just think it's crackers that we're bringing it in at round 21, and we've got the referee showing a player how to play the ball. Holy moly.
Maybe he wants a job as a coach. Steve, do you think?
Driving a coach, more like.
It's Richard Horne with the kick over the top. That's a good kick from Richard Horne. Finds touch close to the corner flag, and Hull will hunt the mistake from Wakefield here if possible.
And that's much better as well. Richard Agar will be very, very pleased with that, because the amount of errors that both sides come up with in that first half, they look like a cake that was a bit undone.
He wasn't happy at half-time, Richard Agar.
He might not have been happy with the first minute of the second half either. You know, rugby league is a gaining game, isn't it? You get the ball and you try and gain as much ground as possible. When Wakefield got the possession from the kick-off, Eddie, they got up to the halfway line before they kicked the ball. Let's see how compressed Hull can keep Wakefield here. They're making too many easy meters if they want to win this battle.
Looks like it hasn't changed as far as Wakefield are concerned. It's a drive, 5 drives and a kick. Here's another one. This time it's from Paul King.
But they're with determination, Eddie, and they're making 10 metres plus. At the moment, Hull can't cope with the physical approach that they're being thrown at.
They're not interested in offloading the ball, are they, Wakefield? They're just making progress downfield. That's a knock-on.
Now that's a poor play of the ball. I don't disagree with that penalty. Leo Latu.
It's not a penalty, Barry, it's a knock-on.
Sorry, that error and that mistake. He doesn't disagree with that infringement. That's a knock-on.
Now Willie Manu's the threat here, Eddie. He's a threat not only from this scrum, but he's a threat in this second half. We didn't see a lot of the ball in his hands, but he excites all of us in the commentary box when he gets it.
Well, he's standing there now and gets it from Tansey. And Aaron Murphy and Glenn Morrison and Sean Gleeson know how dangerous he can be. They're determined he wasn't going to offload that ball. First tackle on halfway. Richard Horne and Radford. Horne again. Fitzgibbon. Ewan Dowse. It's all very safe, isn't it? Horne. That finds Radford. Morrison and Jeffries again. Radford keeps going. Horne will come. I was going to say the short side, but he finds Berrigan instead. Heard the call.
Well, let's go for a kick, eh?
Well, will they force an extra set of 6? Washbrook to the in-goal area. Very well dealt with by Matty Blameyer. That bounced horribly into his face. All the black and white jerseys rushing at him.
I mentioned it a few times in that first half, Eddie, that both sides seem to have some sort of fear factor. You know, don't come up with an error, let's just grind it away, and then guess what, when we get to the last, we'll kick. and hope.
I think the fear for Wakefield is playing as badly as they did last week in the second half and going off the field embarrassed. That's probably why it's been a more conservative approach from them here today. And you fall in a hole as they did last week and concede almost 50 points. You have to start to rebuild on simple foundations, and I think that's what they're doing here.
Well, that was a far better kick and chase, a lot more enthusiastic. Dunkier knows that they've got to try to get... let's also give him a little bit of credit to the fact that it's extremely humid out there, especially for the big lads that running down the middle in the forwards.
It's the black and whites in possession with Danny Tickle.
I'm just waiting for something different, maybe a little chip over the top that might get the crowd excited. This has got to have been the quietest crowd this season.
Well, all it is, Steve-O, is one man up in the drive. Here we go again. It's the same whether it's the white jerseys of Wakefield or the black jerseys of Hull. And now we get to the fifth, and we'll try a kick from Berrigan. Up it goes. Blameyer's underneath it. No problem. That's good chasing, though, by Briscoe.
And all you people, let's count to 6 again. This is the first one. The thing that irritates me, Hull are in the 4th position in Super League. These are not the 2 bottom sides.
I don't mind the attritional nature here, though, Eddie, because in a way it's testing the side. Are you tough enough here to bring it out of your own half?
It's boring me to death, Phil, frankly.
Well, in many ways, it's a bit like clay court tennis, isn't it, where you see players stay at the back of the court, return the ball over the net, and hope for an error or force an error from their opponents.
This is not tennis, Phil. This is rugby league. Excitement personified. Big hits like that. Let's lift this game. Come on.
Horn, the dummy half for Hull. Here's Richard Whiting. Second tackle. And you think what we've seen over the past couple of weeks, what we saw last night at Craven Park, Wigan Saints, we've seen Warrington taking on the Leeds Rhinos on Saturday. There's 4 tackles. Richard Horn will have a little run from dummy half. Thought about the offload, not in the script. Fitzgibbon. Tansey, up it goes. You almost call it. It's a sliced kick. Millard's underneath it.
And that's a really poor kick, Eddie, not just sliced. That should have been 30 metres further downfield if they were trying to take that approach of grinding their opposition into submission. They've let them off too easy there to get out to their own baseline. Leatu takes it forward.
Jeffries waits, dummy half for Wakefield. Charlie Liano. It's simple, it's basic, and it's fault-free. Here is Henderson. That's the last one. Here comes the kick. This time, Cook fumbles it.
And it's a turnover on the last. Well, at least it's something different. It wasn't a kick, it was a fumble.
Do you know players, though, Eddie? I think physically, players can only do this for about 10 minutes, 15 at the most. Some of them, the bigger guys out on the field already, we're 8 minutes into this, end to end, forward and back, forward and back. One of them will crack sooner or later. You've just got to hope that it's not your player, you're not the player to do it, or your team here. But they're working here to grind the opposition down in the middle of the field.
So, okay. I mean, it's a very warm night as well, isn't it?
Well, it's a tough sport as well. Running forward and back like this, eventually your
lungs will be bursting.
They will, and that's what happens here. And eventually there'll be a crack. Just wait. Have some patience.
Manu finds Washbrook. He gets the pass away to Tickle. That's a great hit. Whoa, feet flying. Oh, and they picked it up here. There's the mistake. Millard! Tackled by Craig Hall.
Richard Agar will be furious over that.
Here comes Jeffrey. Suddenly Wakefield sense something.
They had 2 opportunities to drop their body onto the ball and made a real meal of it.
This is Tavita Leolatu.
There's some noise in the crowd. Let's have a bit of excitement. Dummy runner, come on.
This is a great chance for Wakefield. Johnson gives it back to Jeffries. Here is Henderson. And Kek Eamon was quickly on him. Johnson Waits again for Wakefield. Goes to the line, Johnson. That's the fourth. 2 meters away. Jeffries, that was an awful play of the ball. Jeffries at dummy half. Liano, Paul Cook stabs the ball in, looking for Tavita Liolatu. Well swept up by Jordan Tanzi.
Much better kick there by Paul Cook. In fact, we got 2 passes within that move. Then a kick through, and I must say that Tanzi did ever so well. He read it under a lot of pressure. Look at this. Hits the deck. Anybody want to bend for it? No, the kick through. Cook gets to it. Can't keep control of it. Comedy of errors.
Richard Agar, stern of face. John Keir, the fingers are tapping. It's a goal line dropout for Hull. And it's the second one that Wakefield have forced. Here's Cook again. Trying to torment his former club a little bit more. 10 minutes, second half gone. Jeffries for Wakefield. Liano driving the ball in. Cusack standing up to the physical challenge with Danny Tickle. Ben Jeffries. Ball in field to Cook. Cook then to Morrison. Morrison dropped to the shoulder. Tackles completed by Willie Manu. Jeffries again. Good hands. Richard Moore. Couldn't get through. Knock on, they're claiming. Not given by the referee. Johnson goes wide. Blaymeyer. Hull absolutely smother him.
I'd go for the one. Just to do something different.
He's hurt, Blaymeyer. The ball will come back. And it's a crossfield kick from Jeffries, looking for Morrison. Tipped on, knocked on by Yeaman. 6 to go. Cook has it. Play on, says the referee.
Good work by Ganson there, the referee. He allowed play on. They nearly caught out there. Was Hull. That's a shocking pass. They might get away with it, though.
Blaymeyer has it. He's just recovered from the knock he took. And the referee now has Hull offside at the play the ball.
Well, Wakefield went for the 2. Will they take the tap here? No, they've gone... no, I think they might go for it here. Not happy, Richard Agar. He's not on his own, though.
Richard Moore. Penalties, 14 of them, but that's the first of this second half. Liolatu gives it to Liano. He's a massive man, and it's a 4-pointer. Wakefield edge further ahead. Charlie Liano. He's featured in the last 4. He got a try in the win at the Crusaders 2 weeks ago. Was playing in the New South Wales Cup for Newtown Jets, as I said, in the first half. Number 35 on his back. He's picked up the second try here for the Wakefield Trinity Wildcats of his summer in England. And Wakefield edge further ahead.
Well, at least it's something different, and it's power from the big fella. And it just shows you that error from Hull Football Club, should I say. It was Yeaman that came up with a knock-on that put Wakefield in, and look at the size of this fella. He's become a real star here, very, very popular with the crowd, and at long last they've had something to shout about, and Paul Cook surely will add the extras.
Virtually bang in front, 10 metres out, doesn't miss those. And Wakefield are ahead by 18 points to 6 now. John Keir's tapping.
Eddie, I'm not sure I can lip read, but I think John Keir said when he held up his hand with 4 fingers and the thumb that we've completed 5 sets. He's not too concerned about entertainment here tonight. He just knows that they need to win. And I think Hull maybe lacked the patience. They were listening to what was said in this commentary box here about some expansion and some excitement. And they started to move the ball before they had a platform or the right. They hadn't earned the right to shift it wide to that right-hand side. Lost possession, and that was the crack in the door that Wakefield have been looking for.
Absolutely, and you're right, John Keir won't be that concerned that it's not breathtakingly brilliant. All he's interested in is getting his team back on track for their assault on the playoffs.
Oh, that should have been a penalty.
Morrison, though.
That was a real swinging arm by Willie Manu. Luckily, he didn't make contact, but the intent was there, and that should have been penalised. Woof. Ooh, he did make contact.
Here's Paul Johnson now for Wakefield.
A little bit more enthusiastic, aren't they now, the Wildcats? Not surprisingly, they've raced away to an 80.6 lead. Kicking early on the tackle count now. That's something different. Chase is good too.
Yes, Briscoe will run it back, but we've got news from Bill.
Well, Eddie, just a change for Hull FC, an interesting one with Jordan Turner being taken off, and there's no indication of an injury there, but he's been replaced by Craig Hall straight away. So whether it's some move from Richard Agar just to try and shake his side out of the lethargy that just seems to be affecting them at the moment, and it's affecting their supporters as well. Hundreds of black and white supporters here tonight, and hardly a peep from them so far.
Yes, it's being watched in almost silence. Dowes to his feet. That was Houghton. Here is Tickle, and a little run from Tickle. And that was an important tackle by Kevin Henderson. That was. Last one though here for Hull. Berrigan will dab it over the top, will go for it himself, and Gleeson got to that. It went backwards though, says the referee, and Cook tidies up for Wakefield.
Well, at least that was different, wasn't it, from Sean Berrigan? Neat little chip over the top. That'll excite the crowd a little bit, but it was good work by Paul Cook, who's there in the sweeping role.
Gleeson did well.
Yeah, Johnny on the spot though, wasn't he, to make sure that he got possession.
Put him down,
Manu tackles Dale Morton. Manu tackles Kevin Henderson. Rinaldi is back out there. Here is Jeffries. Morrison, Murphy. Briscoe gets to him. Last tackle here, they're on halfway.
Well, I was impressed with Rinaldi when he started the game, and that'll be play on. I think the ball's played the man.
Yes, the referee wipes the tackle count down. Richard Moore has it. Just looked at the referee. Nothing silly.
Good tackle by Briscoe.
Jeffries, good ball. Gleeson. Wakefield now playing with a little bit more confidence. Rinaldi. This is Henderson. Can they push on and win this game, Wakefield? Get themselves back into playoff contention. Rinaldi. Jeffries. Morrison. Great ball, Rinaldi. Good job that Fitzgibbon was there.
Best piece of rugby league we've seen all night.
Jeffries. Here's the big fellow again, Lianu. Willie Manu wrestles him to the ground. Last tackle, bang in front of the sticks here. Jeffries, one-pointer, he'll have that. Ben Jeffries just increases the lead, takes a bit of the pressure off. And John Keir's men lead by 19 points to 6.
Using your brains. Showing a little bit of skill, and that is just what the doctor ordered. Okay, it's been quite lethargic at times, but he knows, he's got the experience as this fella, Ben Jeffries.
6th drop goal of Ben Jeffries' career and for Wakefield, all of them coming here. John Keir's men inching towards success. Short kick-off for the black and whites.
That should be a knock-on, surely.
Back backwards.
Went backwards.
Ah, okay.
Now he's giving the knock-on.
Well, it looked a knock-on to me from the kick-off.
And now there's been something said out of turn. Dissent by Danny Washbrook.
But Washbrook's saying that, well, why didn't you pull me up for it in the first place? That's a knock-on. Yeah. Goes in front of him. Simple.
Well, they can't get their hands on the ball. Well, it's as simple as that, isn't it? They had over 40 play the balls more than their opposition, and with that weight of possession and the determination and simple and aggressive approach from Wakefield, I think, Eddie, it makes them unbeatable now from this point. Great
ball from Moore to Rinaldi. There is Jeffries. Here is Dimitriou.
I agree with you, Phil. I think that they're building in confidence now. Biggest problem, of course, for Hull is the fact they've had 16 missed tackles. Wakefield only 4. That tells its own story. He's away.
Henderson goes through 2, and it was a good job that Danny Houghton was there. Here is Rinaldi. He pops it up. The big fella's come. It's Cook who gives it to Jeffries. Jeffries then fires it to Liano again. Back it comes. The ball is knocked on this time by Wakefield, but at least they're trying something a bit different than the one-out rugby. They actually recorded a Super League double over Hull last year. They lost at the KC Stadium earlier this year. They're out for revenge here tonight. Millard with a good pass. There's the knock on.
Well, at 19 points to 6, you can test your arm, and I think John Keir realises now that, so look, let's just start springing it out wide. They're looking very, very tired of the Hull outfit, very tired indeed.
I think it's all about field position. They've been prepared to stay in the arm wrestle, just keep chipping away, and it's a very workmanlike performance. We've tried a couple of words like lethargic and one or two others, but it's workmanlike. They're putting pressure on Hull FC virtually on their own line, and that earns you the right, just as Phil said, to throw those speculative passes and ask the questions of Hull FC.
Well, now they're asking Hull to work the ball away from their own line if they possibly can. The second half possession is very much in Wakefield's favour. This is Fitzgibbon.
Move! Hold, go.
Houghton comes back this way. Berrigan.
Move, go.
Hull's only hope, Eddie, is a breakaway try, like almost an interception when Wakefield have possession, because at present you don't think they've got the energy or the attitude to come back and win this game. They haven't had enough ball, they're a little bit drained. That kick downfield here now shows that they're going to try here, put some pressure, but there hasn't been enough sting in the defence here. Not hitting that they've any hope of forcing the ball free.
No, you've got to give credit to the safety-first attitude that Wakefield have adopted from minute one. The fact that it has been pretty solid in defence by the Wildcats. And as I say, John Keir will not be interested in the slightest that it's not the most entertaining game that we've seen this year. All he's after is the 2 points.
Yeah, you're right there, but he'll be pleased by one factor, as I said, because their missed tackles is very, very low. Hull, of course, they've had to work overtime. 235 tackles they've done against 163 for the home side, though it looks as though there's a problem there. It's
a Dale Morton.
Yeah, it looks as though he's really... I don't think he'll be able to carry on.
Well, the physio was... oh, he's let that go. No, he hasn't let it go. Tom Briscoe took the chance. Oh, he returns it with interest, though, Briscoe. Good job that Dimitri got him down.
Twinkle toes, nice feet there, wasn't it?
A penalty as well, Briscoe. It didn't come.
That really was a joy to watch. There's a talent. They've got the penalty.
No, just a bit too lazy in getting off the back of Kirk Eamon then.
Well, we're just creeping into the final quarter now. Will the black and white start to think, hey, come on, if we get a quick try, we've got a chance here. Apply a little bit of pressure, something that they've failed to do throughout this game.
Radford will drive it in. He went straight at Henderson. Henderson was down receiving treatment a few moments ago. Houghton will come the short side with Manu. Manu gives it to Yeeman. Good tackle by Sean Gleeson. Houghton again. Radford. Radford to Berrigan. Berrigan to Dowes. Dowes up the middle. Stepped out of one challenge. Down he goes. Richard Moore to the rescue. Houghton once again. Berrigan. This is Washbrook. Washbrook to big Epelhami Luaki. Johnson won't let him go, and it's a penalty to Hull. Johnson complaining that Luaki was using the forearm and the touch of the forehead as well. Here he is again. Straight at Johnson.
He didn't shirk that, did he?
Houghton. Radford. Legs pumping. He's held up though by the Wakefield defenders.
Keep your eye on Jordan Tansey, the full back.
That was a knock on.
Head of feed to Hull.
Let's go straight down to Bill as Paul Cook's knock on gives Hull head and feed. News of Dale Morton, Bill, I believe.
Yeah, Wakefield thought they'd got a big problem with Dale Morton a moment ago. There were people rushing out to the field to see how he was, but he's made a miraculous recovery and looked like a knee problem or an ankle problem. Although I think he might have to leave the field.
You've hexed him, Bill. He's round the back of the post. He's walking away from the action as Hull come here with Yeeman, fed by Tansey. Good tackle, though, by Aaron Murphy. Briscoe. Briscoe will have a little scamper. Scored for England against France the other Saturday. The ball was a little loose in coming out. Manu picks it up though.
Move! Hold! Go.
Houghton for Hull. Showed it to Radford. Took it on himself. Liano got to him with Morrison.
Move!
Washbrook. Here's Luaki. Spins. Gives it back. Washbrook again. Berrigan. Berrigan running laterally. Gives it then to Manu. He tries to go between the two of them. Finds Tickle. That's another knock
Back
on
to
by
6.
Cook.
He'll play on.
6 to go. He will. It's Yeeman. This Wakefield defence being tested now for all it's worth. Briscoe, Radford. Hull sensing something, but Wakefield standing firm. If they get out of this, Wakefield, with all this possession, John Keel will think they're on their way to 2 priceless points. Tickle, Washbrook, Tansey, Whiting.
They're not being sucked out of that one line of defence, Wakefield. John Keel will be very pleased with that.
Houghton, Washbrook. Here is Dowes. Good effort in defence from Wakefield, isn't it? It really is.
They move up both sides and then they stay solid.
Houghton, back it comes to Berrigan. Berrigan stabs the kick in, that's too long.
Not happy with the option as well. Jordan Tansey, the full-back, was screaming for it out wide.
Outstanding Wakefield defence though here.
They've dug deep. We often say it, Phil, that defences, solid defences, will give you a good win, and we've mentioned it time and time again. John Keel will not give any bother about what's been said, or whether there's lack of skill. He needs those 2 points badly.
I think they've defended this well tonight because they conceded 46 points last week and got fed up of standing behind the goalpost watching attempted kicks at goal. Now, the hard thing is for most rugby league players is to defend this well when you've won the week before. And that's the reason why at the moment Wakefield are mid-table and not rather in the top half. The best teams can defend with this attitude for 27 rounds. That's why Wigan are sitting at the top at the moment. Their defence is better than everybody else's.
Well, Wakefield looking to get the jump on Bradford in the teams that are threatening the top 8. And at the moment they're on course for that. Dimitri though goes down on the last tackle on halfway. Jeffries with the kick over the top of Briscoe. No, it isn't. Briscoe managed to backpedal. Look at, he's got no option though, Briscoe there. The chase from the white jerseys was outstanding.
They're out on the feet, Hull. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, they're plodding a bit, aren't they?
Yeah, and they have been for quite some time. They've lacked ideas. They've looked lost. And especially when it came to the final option, all they've been virtually left with is the kick and chase and hope.
Well, we saw Hull Kingston Rovers beat Leeds last night, and we're watching Hull tonight. We have the Big City Derby on Thursday for you on Sky Sports, and contrasting fortunes for the two sides approaching that big night at the KC Stadium. They're talking about a sellout. Here's a knock on by Tickle.
That was
the
a good
count
shot.
is mounting for Hull.
It was a good shot from Julian Rinaldi. Just dislodges the ball out of the grasp here. Watch what he does. Good impact, targets the ball. Rinaldi with a beautiful beard. He looks like Dave Lee Travis the way he's going in there.
Dave Lee Travis. Barry, we have some younger viewers who will never have heard of Dave Lee Travis.
I'd like to know who he plays for.
But you've heard of him.
Radio DJ.
Oh, that guy, yeah, I know him. Now then, this is where Wakefield, and this is a guy that's at dummy half here, Rinaldi. I think he's had a fine game. He's administrated the ball very, very well indeed.
DLT or Julian Rinaldi, take your pick. Great run from him. Bradford deals with him, but he's 12 metres away as he plays this ball to Jeffries. Now it's Paul Cook again. Good ball bringing Johnson back on the inside. Johnson gets it away to Blaymire. Here is Ben Jeffries. Wakefield looking to close this game out here. It's Demetriou. Hull's turn to defend for their lives. Jeffries comes the short side. Henderson finds Gleeson. Gleeson dealt with by Briscoe.
Another 1 point, perhaps. No, kick into the corner.
Demetriou with the kick. Try!
Great stuff.
I think for Aaron Murphy.
I think with you, Eddie. I think Murphy has got that down. Super play on that blind side. He's onside, and I think he gets a hand to it before it gets anywhere near the whitewash. We'll soon see. Yep. The apex of the ball.
That's a knock-on.
I think he gets it down.
No, he knocks it from one hand to the other.
Yeah, there's a gap. You're right, Barry. There is a gap. But there was a gap when Mr. Cook scored. But he didn't go to the screen on that occasion. Mr. Ganson made that decision. Well, he deserved a try. And there's the gap between the hands and the eagle. Mr. Barry McDermott has seen that very quickly. No try.
Well, it would have been his third try in a run on Sky if he'd have been given it. Aaron Murphy denied. Was a knock on.
You know, Mike makes a great point. Here's a try which we see chalked off here on the video referee. Paul Cook's try should have been disallowed, and some of us in here think that the try for Hull over on the far side of the field should have been awarded. But when you look at it that way, Eddie, you could almost drive away from this game afterwards thinking, well, Hull have been unlucky here tonight.
Yes, you're right.
I don't think they're dead and buried. There's 11.5 minutes left yet. And Hull FC just need to get up the other end of the pitch.
They've had difficulty in doing that all night, though, Barry, haven't they? They have this defence from Wakefield. We praised Hull KR's defence last night, and we have to praise Wakefield's this evening.
I agree, and Wakefield have played a very high percentage game, which has made it difficult for Hull FC, and they've been tired when they've had the ball, but runs like this will help.
It will. They've got an hour now without scoring, have the black and whites. This is Berrigan. Horn. Fumble by Richard Horn. A little bit of lack of match practice by Richard Horn.
Yeah, but it was the tension that the defence gave to him.
Richard Horn will be 28 next Friday, the day after the Hull KR derby.
Beautiful work by Paul Cook there. Put himself about at times as the standoff.
He likes nothing better than to beat the black and whites. And he's been a bit of a thorn in their side, actually, since he left. In somewhat acrimonious circumstances. Dimitriou works hard, doesn't he? Even though he's 34 and counting. Jason Dimitriou. He's only missed one this year, leaving at the end of the season. Last 10, and Wakefield with this game in their pocket. It's theirs to lose now.
Paul King just took his eye off the ball, just had a little bit of a look. He could see that Radford was lining him up. Well, the return to TV of Mr. Steve Ganson has certainly livened things up slightly. He's a character, there's no two ways about that.
18 penalties. We've been saying in the recent past as well that the games have been so good because the penalty counts have been kept so low by the officials. We've had 18 tonight. 11 have gone to Wakefield, 7 to Hull. Might be a couple more in the next 9.5 minutes as well. Well, this is the time for Hull if they're going to do anything. And here is Yeeman. He's got Briscoe with him. Briscoe will be bundled over the sideline.
Yeah.
Oh, no, he won't.
He will.
The referee says that's not allowed.
It's a drag. This is so difficult, this ruling. At what point you stop pushing and you start pulling? There's two pushing and one pulling. It's so difficult, that one.
Don't worry, Eddie, I saw that film too.
Danny Houghton and Radford. Rinaldi stands his ground. Richard Moore with him. Houghton again from dummy half. Back he comes to Richard Horn. Yeah, well, that's a lack of match practice for Richard Horn. And Daryl Millard has it for Wakefield. And Daryl Millard has brushed away from Tansey. And Daryl Millard will go all the way and will win the match for the Wildcats. He's delighted. Look at that. That's how much it means to John Keir. And Daryl Millard, the Fijian international, an absolutely priceless try, comes up with 10 tries for the season. Formerly with the Canterbury Bulldogs, trying each of his last two. And a try at Hull in the defeat in April. Well, he's just wrapped up the points here for Wakefield tonight.
A very tired pass, not the best. And it went right to the ground. And Richard Horne just looks in bewilderment here. Take nothing away from Millard. That was a good fend. In and out. Knew he had the legs. That seals it. Houghton trying to get them off. It's a shocker. Thank you very much indeed. Nice step though, isn't it? This is a classic try. Two nice steps. One beautiful fend on Jordan Tansey. Gets into top gear. The game is ours. And the delight that was shown on the coach's face, John Keir, said it all. Cook, and he had the two.
Paul Cook for 2 points, and 2 points it is, and exactly the same scoreline as we had last night, 25-6. Hull KR won against Leeds. Hull FC are losing to Wakefield, and Daryl Millard's try has sealed it.
Beautiful step there, another good step. Look at that. It's wonderful to see someone who can fend. Great ability. And he finished it off exceptionally well.
Watch this.
Happy, John? Yes, 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 yes. Do you know, with those fingers, I reckon he would be a world record typist.
He's just seen himself on the big screen. I love it when they wear their heart on their sleeves, the coaches.
Well, he does, of course he does. They've come up with it, though, of Hull, with a short kick-off. There's a good take by Richard White in there. Oh, this could turn nasty. And King says, come on. Luaki said, I'll have you. A point in. Well, we could have a few final minutes with a bit of spice.
Tansey.
I look forward, yeah, looked it. He delayed it, didn't the fullback, Jordan
Manu has
Tansey?
lost it.
It hasn't been their night, has it?
It hasn't been Hull's night. They've not been at the races, but you have to say
that was pinched.
You have to say that Wakefield. Oh, and here's now a penalty for dissent.
Well, I think you'll find that has been reefed away.
You can speak to him, mate, because he's having a go at his own team.
Kevin Henderson, I think, is the culprit, but he's got away with it. And now watch Henderson pulls the arm away. It's quite clear. Rip the ball apart.
You're not coming having a go at me.
More than one man into the tackle.
Fair enough, mate. Fair enough.
Difficult for Steve Ganson. He was on the other side. Either way, Wakefield will not be worried about that at all.
No, the penalties for dissent. And although it has been safety first, and it hasn't been a classic, it has been tough, uncompromising, and steady as you go by Wakefield. Nothing flash, nothing fancy, but they've got what they wanted. They've got the 2 points.
Eddie, we were talking about being in the entertainment business at half-time. John Keir is in the results business, and unfortunately for Hull, they just haven't had the skills to pay the bills tonight. Crucial errors have let them down. They've made 12 handling errors tonight, and it's just not been good enough against a very determined, very motivated Wakefield side.
Korkidas thrown to the ground by that tackle from Willie Manu. This is Jeffries. Wide they go to Cook, and wide again, looking for Millard out there, but only finding the touch judge.
I think he went a bit further than the touch judge. Nearly found Mrs. Millard, I think, out in the stand. Well, it's free for all, isn't it? They know they got this game wrapped up at 25 points to 6. The hard work from Paul Johnson. I know we keep mentioning it, but John Keir, he was pretty confident when he was our guest last night, even though he gave him a hard time, Eddie.
Gave him a sleepless night with 1 or 2 things we were saying, but
he'll sleep well tonight, though.
He will. Yeah, he will. He'll sleep well in his bed. And when you think, you know, they've shipped out an entire team since the end of last year, there have been massive upheavals at this club, and they've given Super League debuts to 11 players so far in 2010. Oh, dear, it's getting bad to worse for Hull. They really are not at the races tonight. This is Aaron Murphy. Yeaman going without it.
Hold, go.
Rinaldi. Jeffries pops the ball up to Korkidas.
The one thing that John Keir will be pleased with as well is the effect that Ben Jeffries has had when, you know, they're a little bit sloppy at times, but he just slowed things down, just said, I'll take first receiver. Kicking game has been good. Not a good night for this fella, Richard Agar. He knows it.
No, he's not happy with what he's seen. And Cook will put icing. No, now then, forward pass. I was going to say he'll put icing on the cake.
Trouble
just
is,
lost it forward then.
Yeah, just dropped the cherry at the right moment, the wrong moment, should I say. Tried his damnedest.
I think he tried to offload that.
Yep.
He's almost up. His legs are over the line. If he'd have kept hold of it, he might have got the ball down. But you talk about John Keir. John Keir's had a tough couple of weeks. He'll be the first to thank his support staff. Tony Drury, the man on his right, is the man that's in charge of signing those young men. He's the head of youth. They've signed 10. And if you said that they've blooded all those players in the first team, he'll have a big part in that, Tony Drury. And you've got Paul Broadbent. He'll be running the messages on for the players to carry out the instructions of John Keir.
Well, home form was a worry before tonight, winning just 1 of 5 since Easter.
We just missed a nice piece of sportsmanship, didn't we, when Paul Cook was tackled by Ewan Dowes. Obviously disappointed not to have created or scored the try, but I think man enough to accept good effort from Dowes, even with the game over, and congratulated him, as we saw Rob Burrow do with James Graham a few weeks ago. It's nice to see good sportsmanship.
Danny Houghton, Berrigan. Oh,
he's got it!
Demetriou has pinched it, and Demetriou goes over, and that will wrap it up. Jason Demetriou. The two Hull clubs are entering that derby on Thursday in vastly differing form. Jason Demetriou with the try. Third of the season, 180th Wakefield appearance tonight. He leaves at the end of the campaign. He got a try in the win at Hull last year. He gets a try in the win against Hull here tonight. Jason Demetriou, and that was just, well, larceny of the grandest scale. He just stepped forward and picked up the pieces.
You can always gamble, can't you? Take that chance when you know that the game is absolutely wrapped up in the bag. This just put a little bow on the gift package. He's worked his socks off as well, as he always does. One of the real nice guys in Super League. Great servant to not only this club, but to the game itself. And he'll enjoy that. And I'm sure that John Keir will be happy.
Not as happy as him. Jason Demetriou had a good week. He had the honour of talking to Brian Carney on Thursday. Ben Jeffries with the conversion, and it's just gone in front of the post. That's Brian Carney's guest on Thursday, Jason Demetriou, and the last try here tonight. And still wants to continue on in 2011. Will leave at the end of this season. Will now leave the stage, and John Keir will leave the stage with a very emphatic victory in his pocket against the club that saw him off 4 years ago. Hull led 6-0 after 9 minutes. That was the end of it as far as the black and whites were concerned. It was then safety first from Wakefield. Nothing fancy, nothing dramatic. Don't do anything silly. Play to your strengths. Cook, Rinaldi, Liano, Millard and Demetriou with tries. 29 unanswered points. And Wakefield take home the spoils. And Wakefield's top 8 bid comes back on track. They knew they had to win tonight, with Bradford having lost at Harlequins last night, and they have done exactly that.
They've certainly worked hard to get it, and full credit to them. Only 5 missed tackles. You look on the other side, and what a problem that Richard Agar, the Hull coach, will have. 23, yep, I'll repeat it, 23 missed tackles. That is unbelievable.
Okay, Ben Jeffries is the man of the match, and he's with Bill.
Ben, congratulations. There's the champagne, which will taste pretty good after that, after the caning I think you got earlier in the week.
Yeah, John and Beans weren't too happy with us during the week, but had a lot of soul searching to do, and come out and proved ourselves right this week, and just shows you if you do some hard work, what can happen.
Was confidence a bit low after that performance last Sunday?
I wouldn't say confidence was low. We were just very disappointed with ourselves, and we were the only ones who could change it around. So, fortunately, we did.
But tonight was the approach maybe safety first, certainly early doors.
No, we just wanted to get in the game and play. You know, we didn't want to play one-out football. We needed to challenge them on the edges and in the middle. And I thought our forwards were awesome. They laid a good platform for me and Cookie and the outside backs, and they paid dividends in the end.
Well done. You got the champagne, £100 for a charity that you can nominate. Where will that go?
I'll give it to the Brendan Rooney Fund, please. I'd just like to say hello to my mum and dad back in Australia, and thank you to Engage.
Cheers, Ben. Well, let's bring in another one of the try scorers in tonight, Julien Rinaldi, who left. Hi, Julien. Good to see you again. Villeneuve Leopards just a few weeks ago, and now into the thick of this. What's it been like?
Yeah, awesome. Like, great opportunity again to come back to Super League, especially like in Wakefield. I've been there before, so it's always good to come back and just have a great game there.
And then you get involved in a week that's probably been a bit tough here, given what went on last Sunday, the feeling after the game that everybody had been let down, the way the coach was feeling. You had to deliver tonight.
Yeah, definitely. I think everyone worked hard for each other, and that's the most important today. I think it'll be a tough time with a few losses, but I guess I just try to bring a bit of fresh food there in this group and get some energy to make the top 8.
It must be good to be involved in Super League again.
Yeah, definitely. I love it. It's just I like the country, I like the culture and stuff, and I like the footy here. So it's great to be back.
Thanks, Julian. Good to see you.
Yeah, I want to say good hello to my family and friends and my family in Australia too. Hi.
You've done it.
Thank you.
Julien Rinaldi has played his full part in this victory for Wakefield. The coach, John Keir, will be delighted. It was a tough old week for him after what happened here last Sunday. Coaches ask their players to respond to adversity like that, and Wakefield have responded big style.